Hi, it's so good that blah, 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 blah. It's good to see you. I didn't know that I had rights to go live on YouTube again, so it's very exciting. Um, what I wanted to introduce to you guys is a new crypto concept, and that is just a pure and simple research team. So, what I created tonight at 8 o'clock every Thursday from 8 to 9 until probably like the end of the year, just want to meet and I want to come up with a group of non-accredited investors, right? Citizen journalism research team. Yes. So what we want to do is we want to look for different things in the market and look for what's going on, what's not going on. I want people that are of love and light and in the positive side of the planet that really agree with the maintaining of human rights. This is what I call, as Ray Dalio would say, a idea meritocracy group, where what that means, if you read Ray Dalio's book, The Principles, it's basically where we all collectively come together and we intellectually collaborate and tell everybody what our stories are, what we've learned today. I don't know about you guys, but in the last 4 to 6 weeks, I think even before that, we had been on a plane in January and I was like this. I mean, Jamie, my husband, has a picture of me on Facebook, like on the plane on January 26th with this chick in front of me with a mask on. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't get masks. So I'm like this on an airplane. So I've been researching like this Corona thing for probably 4 or 8 weeks, right? Freaking out. But now I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm on research overload. Now it's time to kind of get rid of the smoking mirror that's been put upon all of us. And I think I'm a few steps ahead of the average bear here. A lot of moms are just like trying to get through the day. Homeschooling has been a norm in our house, so it's not like this crazy transition. Anyway, so tonight, if you go to freecryptoeducation.com/go, you can become part of our investment research team. It's a global investment research team. Now, what it is that we're going to look over Forex, stocks, futures, gold, metals. I have some proprietary software designed by a quantitative analyst, programmer. He's freaking amazing, and he's hard to get a hold of. I mean, the guy sits in his home office and you hear ding, 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 brrr. He's so smart. He's created this automatic trading system that makes noises. And, he's out there like programming, developing software. So it's not like I can sit there and talk to him 24 hours a day. So I need more intellectual people surrounding me to actually get to a very truth factor as to what's going on globally, financially, and to really locate the best investment right now. And you know what? Part of investing is not investing. Okay. And one thing I've learned over the last 3 years is that doing nothing is doing something. And so ultimately, collectively with this research team, you will be coming live onto the webinar and you need to make sure you have a mic that works. If you're not talking, you're getting kicked off, okay? This is not a group for somebody that's a silent listener. Nope, you must talk. You must, everybody gets unmuted and everybody talks. It is an intellectual heaven. Yes, this is only for the people that are aggressively wanting to learn and wanting to hear the facts and that what's going on even just on a humanitarian rights level across the globe. We've got people that are in different time zones and they're on at 2 o'clock in the morning where they live, or 4 in the morning, right? It's a very exciting place to be. It's just that I originally created it as a crypto crew, and we really end up going down these highly intellectual rabbit holes of all industries. I mean, we looked at, in the last 6 months, we've looked at military stocks. We've looked at 5G, technology, robotics, nanos, medical. You should see like the history of all of our webinars. It goes through everything. Crypto, yeah, Stockland, Amazon. We everything that we can think of, we've been watching and looking at, and then collaboratively, like everybody's got so much information coming to them. So the conversations are intense, and you come out of this with no recommendations, okay? There's no accredited investors. There's nobody that's going in to kind of steer you in one way. This is literally like a think tank, this massive, fun think tank. And the group is nice and small so that like we get people from like all parts of the United States too. So you see East Coast, West Coast, the middle, to Florida, to New York, to like Seattle, to California. I mean, the octopus arms of the intellectuals coming in from the UK, from like New Zealand, from Africa. It's so exciting. But I wanted to extend this out to more branches of the world to see if more intellectual people that have questions that I have is like, what is really going on with the numbers? Like, who can actually bring more to the group, and who is out there looking for a great research group to be part of? So be ready to make sure, like, if you join us tonight, it's free, cryptoeducation.com/go. It's a free group to join, and be ready to unleash your mic, talk, have a voice, be heard, and leave with no recommendation, okay? You're just gonna leave with a bunch of information, and you're gonna be able to like go to bed, sleep it in, sleep so that you have a memory, and collectively over a few months, you're gonna be like, wow, okay? One of the parts of trading I've learned is this to watch the market. And this is why I love my quantitative programmer. He has that software, goes beep, 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 right? It's like a buy and sell beep. And so he is like literally, it's like dancing. You hear the beat and you're moving to the beat. Well, when you're stock trading and stuff or crypto trading, you hear the beat. You feel the rhythm of the market. And that's what happens to somebody that is actually like an investor for themselves. They feel the market. And the market, I love, one of my super traders was teaching in a webinar once. He was like, Susie, this is just a reflection of the human emotion. It's just a human emotion reflection. That is amazing. And it's so true, right? But then there's a whole nother layer that comes onto this, the deep state, right? Who is the money movers of the world, right? And they're supposedly into something really bad. So who this is not for. If you don't believe there's a deep state, don't touch my webinar, okay? If you don't think that that Mockingbird has been implemented in social media, in all like media, don't attend, please. If you don't understand that there are people that are not good and wholesome in this world that really care about your health and that want to keep you alive, and if you don't think that there's people out there that do not want you to have freedom, then please do not attend, okay? If you do not believe that there are some kind of force that is limiting, our growth factor, then don't attend. I cannot tell you how many people that I've worked for down in Greenwich that as soon as they got to this higher numerical level, that there was some kind of like thing that took them down. And I thought that was really awkward as an event planner. My favorite clients were like getting attacked by the SEC, paying up to $200 million in fines. I was like, what's going down? It was as if like the wealthier my clients got, the harder they were hit. And there's some really weirdness to that, right? And I was like, And now I'm like seeing the light. All these dots are connecting. So look, this is going to be amazing. It really is a generally very amazing group of people that have been learning from. Like, I'm not really the teacher here. It's like everybody that joins this webinar is teaching. So if you just really care about helping others and that you are interested in meeting some other brilliant brains that are not like brainwashed, educated, indoctrinated into the system, that are not politicians, like, please, if you're a politician, do not hit this site. Meaning like if you're of the bad team, we don't want you there, okay? This is for like real people that care about human rights, about freedoms, about life, about love, about having the freedom to actually pray to whatever God they have, essentially a positive God that believes in letting people live, right? If you're one of those people, then you're welcome to join. You're not welcome to join if you are not positive, if you are not, meaning, no, I'm not saying like positive as in like, not aware, but meaning like if you do not care about humanity and if you don't care about human rights, don't come. Pretty much, that's it. Yeah, like, and if you're gonna come on and just sit there and just be quiet, I'm gonna kick you off. You better make sure your mic works, okay? Yeah, this is not some little cush. Oh, I just want to have like some marketing ploy to get your email. This is about like hardcore research team that is gonna give and get. All right. So if you want to jump in and you want to learn from some really amazing people, and if you have some message to send, then please do. Like I just did a lot on Facebook about this, and I'm so excited. Nick said, "Hey, Susie, do you know that there are research that 5G is okay?" I'm like, please send me some documentation. I want to see some studies. If you can prove to me that 5G is not going to hit the bee, 5G is not going to hurt the bees, and 5G is not going to hurt the humanity, and to have 24/7 radiation hitting the human body, it's going to be okay. I'm open to anything new, but prove to me that this is going to be safe and that like we are going to actually be able to continue to procreate babies. And if you can prove to me that this chip is not going to be in some kind of vaccine, I'm open to that too. How would you even know about this? So if that was going to be the case, and if you can prove to me that Bill Gates is not, what all of this like, I guess this bad person that people are all saying, please. And if you can prove to me that the deep state doesn't exist, please bring it on. But anyways, ultimately, the ultimate goal of this is to actually figure out where do we invest what money we have left. What is the best thing? Is it seeds? Is it soils? Is it bullets? Do we need to do rain collecting right now, right? Will electricity maintain? How long can a town maintain itself if taxes are not paid? And, things like that, like it's down to the bare necessities, right? And if you understand economics, even down to like just town economics, and if you understand the financial statements and how where we go to look for the numbers, like I love worldometer.com because it shows the population. And I put a post on Facebook the other day. I'm like, oh my God, the population is actually growing amidst this COVID crisis. I'm like, that's kind of awkward, right? You would think like with this COVID crisis, the population would be like diminishing, but that's not what the numbers say. So I'm a numbers girl. I remember being in a taxi cab with my co-parent years ago, and this guy goes, "What is a universal language?" And we're in New York City, and I go, "It's love," and he goes, "No, it's English." And the taxi guy was the smartest guy ever. He goes, "No, it is numbers." And I was like, that dude was smart. Okay, he may be a taxi driver, but that guy was freaking right. Numbers are the universal language. So let's look at the numbers. And that's what this is about. Show me the numbers, baby, because the numbers tell the truth. If the numbers are true, right? Show me the numbers. So what I would love to know is if you guys have any resources, any reliable strategies or reliable like charts that we can look at to see the numbers. The numbers, I want to see, how can we find out how much gold is there in the world? Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, I love this one YouTuber guy. He was saying, hey, look, he was kind of saying that he diversifies right now between metal and Bitcoin. And one of his arguments about metals was, we really don't know how much gold there is in the world. And I'm like, dude, you got a point. And he was justifying Bitcoin. And I'm not saying one is right or the other. I'm just saying, hey, and when you come out of this thing, you're not going to have any advice. This is no advice given on this webinar. It's completely just to like joggle your brain to like ask the right questions. So this guy says, but in Bitcoin, he knows exactly how many Bitcoin there are. I'm like, he's got a point, right? So I just would love to collectively come up with a lot of these perspectives, a lot of these questions. It's always like, are you asking the right questions? I saw this video today. It was really cute. And is it the media trying to this is the questions I have. This girl put this video out, and her 4-year-old son has COVID, but he became better, right? But then she's in the room, the hospital room, and she's not got a mask on, and she's a doctor. But then you see the nurse come in there with all this headgear and stuff, and I'm like, don't you guys, all these women, so sweet. I'm like, are you guys brain dead? Don't you see that there's a woman in there with her son that's got this breathing tube? That's what he's doing. And she's got no mask? Don't you guys see anything weird about this? I mean, the general public has no questioning going on. They are mesmerized and there's this mirage. I'm like, y'all, wake up. Don't you see something weird? And then here's the thing. You've got this highly edited video that's gone viral on Facebook. Don't you think it's a little odd? This girl is a doctor. A doctor. Doctors are not all about highly editing. And then on the side of the video, it says, this is copyright property by the girl's name. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but how many doctors have a copyrighted video of them and their son, and then they have a family of other kids, and nobody in the family got COVID, but she's not wearing a mask? Just something. I mean, come on. Really? Duh. And the comments on that thing should have been dude, are you taking vitamin C? Oh my God, did you take quinine? What were you pumping inside of your body to heal yourself? And the questions these other women commenting instead of should have been what did the kid take? What got him out of this COVID thing? Come on. So anyways, the point is there's some smoking mirrors going on. We've got to figure out as investors, where do you put your money? What crypto do you think? What's your opinion? This is what I'd love to discuss tonight is what do you think about this Bill Gates digital currency? And how does it make you feel when the UN is suddenly saying, hey guys, we should do this global currency thing? Is that not a huge red flag? Anybody that understands digital currency should know that this is the riskiest idea ever, okay? As crypto girl, of course, I was like, yeah, blockchain, that's cool, As a investment purpose here, a digital currency with a currency potential like USDC. USDC, dudes, some crypto guy was discussing USDC, and I am not a programmer, so I need some programmers out there to research this for me. They said that USDC has a back-end programming, so they could cut you out of it. All right. So if a digital currency is created and run by a global currency by the UN, and if it's got some kind of programming like USDC does, and you could get cut off of your currency, how does that make you feel? This is ridiculous. And this is probably why we as US citizens have been cut other than what's on Coinbase. Okay, so we have 13 digital currencies to choose from. While all my global friends are cha-ching, 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 buying all the awesome altcoins that have all the amazing different cool projects that they're doing that are going to be sustainable, and they're going to be the infrastructure of things going up. But why are the US citizens getting blocked from investing in those amazing things unless you're on VPN and doing some weird stuff that I ain't got time for? You know what I mean? I love my country. My grandfathers fucking got here in 1600s and fought for this land. Unfortunately, it's a sad thing. I mean, literally my grandfathers, 2 of them were anyways, they were with the Indians, with the ones that were okay with commingling, but then they were fighting Prince Philip War and stuff. So oh, that's a little sad too. But look, it's almost going to be 400 years since my 2 grandfathers laid foot on this land on my mother's side of the family and actually created this land. But you got to understand, the United States has been equality and openness for religion and faith and so forth. So human rights, there's so many things I want to discuss about. Our human rights, our freedoms are slowly being taken away. It's kind of like this when taxes got implemented into us. Did they ever take the taxes away? No, when they take our freedom away, are they going to give it back? You've got to be aware. And this is not a one country thing. This is a global thing. This is like, if the stuff that I'm hearing about this deep state, if it's true, this is like not a good scene, guys. Let's just hope that the positive force comes in there and cleans something up. Oops, my husband gave me the eye. He's mad. I can't talk about this stuff, especially not on YouTube. All right, so I'm going to jump off. I have such a desire to find out what the freak is really going on out there, that I really hope that if you literally are on the right team, and I mean like the positive, pro-humans, love, light, discussion. God, come on, guys. We're 400 years since the United States or America has been like, you know, the Mayflower came here and we settled here. We really have this amazing country, and let's keep it. Let's grow it. And if something happened from 1624 or 1630s until 1950, let's clean it up. Clearly, my grandfathers came here for a reason. Something was going on in Europe that triggered them to come to a new place. And they built and kept their homes, and they built their families here. So there's something beautiful about this place. We've got to maintain the integrity, okay? This goes before, like, the daughters of the revolution. This is like, there's a reason why grandfathers stayed on this land. They were getting away from something. They were creating something more beautiful. I want to maintain the integrity of this country. I really want, but not. I really hope that that little group that's out there that's supposedly cleaning up anything, I hope it just clean it up. I really want all of us to enjoy a life of like health, like of real health. Like, if what we're hearing is so true, like, what would it be like to actually learn the truth about health and learn that vitamin C and look, like what cabbage does, like cabbage, have these notes I've been researching, right? So look, this webinar tonight is about general research. What's going on? You know, we found out what's going on in New York, what's going on in Seattle, what's going on in Oklahoma, what's going on in New Zealand, what's happening in the UK, what's going on in Canada. Like, there are people from all over the world that join this. And so just even on a human rights level, we learn like what's going on in every one of these areas. But beyond that, we do look at like stocks. I can look at stocks, Forex, futures, crypto. We can discuss metals. We can look at the charts. And, you know, I tend to do trend trading. So like sitting back and just like chilling out and just hoping that the trades are going to be good. Personally, not for me. Maybe it's for you. Maybe, you know, you think Bitcoin's going to be like halving and go amazing places, which I hope it does. I would love to collectively kind of say, hey, collectively with the group, what are you doing? Okay, that's the beautiful. No advice. I would prefer people with no education, meaning like somebody that is not like limited to what they're saying. So I always say, like, I'm probably the best uncertified psychologist you can find, because I can say exactly what it has to be said. But when you have these doctors or these psychologists, or if you have like investors, accredited investors, they really cannot say certain things. They are actually silenced in themselves. They're silenced because they have put so much money and time and energy into a degree, they can't really tell you the truth. And I'm serious about that. Like, that's so true. So we have silencing of the scientists, silencing of the bankers. We have silencing, and I'm silenced as working for a bank myself. We have silencing as an event planner. You know, I've been in private homes of the wealthiest people in the world, and I'm silenced for what I saw, what happened, what I did. You know, so literally, the only way to unsilence somebody is you have to put them in the court of law. So all non-disclosures get null and void unless you have to be speaking in the court. And now the court systems are shut down. So it's a real silent time right now, okay? So the deal is like, come to the webinar. Yeah, I can't tell you what I know on a silencing system, you know, whatever, but let's kind of come together. Let's figure out what's going on, what's not going on. Let's follow the numbers, figure out what's the best thing to do right now. Is it buy food? Is it buy seeds? Is it to create a garden? Is it to make sure you have a water cleanser, make sure that you can clean your water? Is it to get a water collector so you can collect your rain? And then maybe the best thing is to get a gravity water filter. You know, is it survival mode right now that we should be in? How long can a city stay a city? How long will those benefits of having water and electricity sustain itself if we have this huge global crash? The other question I'd love to know is if there's a global currency coming, and if Bill Gates' global currency patent gets passed, it's like 2020, 06. So what does that mean? That he wants to implement it on June 6th? You know, if there's a global currency that's coming and we have no choice in that, do we have a choice, right? What are some questions I wanted to answer? If there's a global currency option and if Bill Gates owns it and he's already gotten the patent for it, and he can control it, and if it has the programming like USDC has behind it where it can just like cut you out, well, what happens then? So what's the conversion rate that your country's currency going to convert at? Well, where's my Forex experts? Like, how would all that, reset what happens to our mortgage loans, what happens to our credit card payments, what happens to everything that we have? Is it better to have assets right now? Is it better to own a house so that maybe some of your money could just stay integrity-wise in a property? So I would love to look over all those assets. Real estate, food, what's the next currency? You know, health is wealth. So is it do a garden? Is it hydroponics? Is it a gravity water collector? What do we really need? When we come to our basic human needs, we need water, we need food. Okay, so if we're alive, that's the most important thing. And then you want to be healthy. You don't want to just be alive, you want to be healthy. So what are the vegetables and stuff? So I will give you this quick thing. I'll tell you a little bit of my research and then I'm going to jump off. So cabbage. All right, the big thing is they're saying in this thing that you got to have vitamin C, right? So cabbage, you get 1 cup of cabbage gives you 70% of your recommended daily vitamin C allowance, okay? And you have 80% of your recommended vitamin K in cabbage. All right, so then let's go to, I did some research on cucumbers. Where's cucumbers? All right, cucumbers, 92% water. So one of the things, I remember some intellectual client I had, he said, look, fruit trees are going to be huge in the future because fruit trees have tons of water in them. If we don't have running water, right, if we have to collect rainwater and do gravity filters or go find streams, I know this is excessive, but I don't know how long cities and water companies can maintain. If there's no money to pay for these essential bills, how long can they continue to work without having money? Like, what's going to happen? How long will this go on? And how long do we have before you kind of just things stop? Flavonoids, tannins, magnesium, potassium, 14% of your vitamin C, and 62% vitamin K. The other things that you don't see is cauliflower. Cauliflower has 1 cauliflower gives you 472% of the vitamin C needed. Vitamin D is 55%. But in 1 cup of cauliflower is 77% of your vitamin C and 20% of your vitamin K. And fiber. And let's talk about the other thing, cabbage. Cabbage is great for digestion. And I was learning, there's this other thing I want to tell you about free. It's called Food Revolution Summit. Send me a message and I'll send you the link to that. I'll give you a link to a free book. It's about the COVID health stuff. So there's some really cool people in the food and the health area that are just doing some great work teaching people. But if you really want to have something healthy right now, because I know the front butt's when you get the little pudgy in your tummy, it's amazing. You do cabbage. So you go to the store, you get those coleslaw already cabbage that's cut. Take that and you want cold pressed olive oil. Now, Dr. Gundry has this amazing olive oil that he gets from Africa because he says that Africa's soil is so dry, so it pushes the plant to grow these, they're called, look at my research, phytosterols. this element is what protects your body from lectins. Lectins are tomatoes, and they actually create leaky gut syndrome in your body. But this olive oil kind of coats them, and so that stuff just goes right through your body and you shit it out, and it doesn't go through the colon. Okay, so colon health is important, and reflexology is important too. Like I could like touch your foot and I can tell you what's going on in your body and your mental state. So amazing. Louise Hay is amazing. All right. Anyways, so let's go back. So cabbage, olive oil, and then I squeeze some like lime in there, and you mix it all around with salt, pepper, and you eat that. Oh, I'm talking like you will have diarrhea the next day. I know this is gross, and I'm up totally want to be a poopologist. So you're probably thinking, Crypto Girl, you are wackadoo, and that's okay. Because look, poop is the most important part of your body, the most important part of knowing your health, your gut health. The shape of your poop matters, whether it floats or it sinks, whether it looks like a cow patty. So personally, you know, the industry that I love is health and nutrition. I just never became a doctor because I was in the Bible Belt of the South. And at that point when I was growing up, it was like not many people had a collective consciousness, because I know now why. Because the big deep state wanted people on medical stuff. So it's all making sense, but poop is amazing to tell you if you're healthy or not. So to get your poops on, eat some cabbage. Just do it with olive oil, salt and pepper. And like I ran out of lime, so I think I'm just gonna go squeeze lemons on there today, right? Eat that, you'll be like, oh my gosh. Like the next day, you'll be like, and then your stomach will start flattening out. Okay, but that's a little quick trick. Now to grow cabbage, it's about 60 to 65 days, okay? I'm gonna tell you, that's a long time. But you better get that garden going and growing. We are in springtime, so get those seeds in your soil now, and inside, start growing your babies so then you can transplant them outside, and then you can have some cabbage. That's gonna be 2 months, so it'll be probably by May and June. So say by June, end of June, so the beginning of July, you can have some cabbage. But just start trying to be self-sufficient, because whatever's happening out there, and however that little group, that QAnon team is doing, cleaning up the riffraff, God hope they get it cleaned up. We don't know how long we need to be self-sufficient. We don't know how long the electricity can stay on in each town. We don't know how long, you know, water can keep on flowing. Hey, and maybe I'm just like, you know, doomsayer, and that's okay, whatever. I'm just saying, get yourself prepared for anything that is coming. And that's one thing this research group is going to do, is we're going to collectively say, okay, well, what's going on with food and where you are? Is the food industry coming? And we know that meat factories are being shut down. Is all this planned by the deep state just to take us out? Just be ready. This is a weird thing going down, but be self-sufficient as much as you can, bro. I'm making some really cool water collectors for the garden. So I'm going to be out. Sounds like the kids are going into the kitchen. And of course, I'm like the maid girl, because I'm the mama, right? So I don't know about you guys, but my rubber gloves have holes in them. I try to duct tape them. The water gets in. You know, we don't go to the grocery store. We don't leave the house. So it's just like trying to live with what you have. This is a funny life. Anyways, hopefully you get to join us on the webinar tonight. Go to freecryptoeducation.com/go. freecryptoeducation.com/go. And again, only attend if you have a good heart, if you care about humanity, you care about your personal rights, and you really want to find out what's going on with the numbers, what's going on globally, what's going on locally, and what's the best place to put your money now. And we won't have any recommendations, but I think collectively, once we ask everybody what they're doing and why they're doing it, maybe you'll come up with something that's right for you, you know, without having one-on-one talks and stuff. You know, you're going to have to make the ultimate decision, and you've got to figure out what the ultimate sacrifice is for your family. And I think we're all sacrificing a lot right now, but let's just make sure that we make good choices now. And we know, like, look, planting a garden does not, I'll kind of show you, does not come overnight. Look at this. So this is like, I think like a month in. So this is what it looks like for those up top are beans. Now I'm going to give you a little bit about planting 101 because I'm definitely garden girl. Beans put nitrates back into the soil. Tomatoes like nitrates. So there's some plants that are symbiotically very good together, meaning like they're going to suck out and then nurture the soil. So if you want to put certain things together, that'd be worth researching. This is so cool. This is just like an onion from the grocery store. Like after you eat the onion, you plant the butt. And now you can, you got chives, right? So, I froze that one in my nose. Actually really good, right? Potatoes, the eyes, put those bad boys. Oh, I'll show you those. Look at this. So this is probably like 10 days after putting a potato. Okay, remember those potatoes get eyes? Let's see if you can see it. You can see, I'll go slow. You can see the vines, or not the vines, those are roots. All right, and we're just now getting little shoots up there. Isn't that cool? It's growing. All right, but then I'll have to put that, outside because you want to have room in there to grow. So I was just practicing. Now, I've never grown lettuce before in my life. And as an event planner, I had a lot of event planning centerpieces. So those centerpieces are growing my garden now. Talk about transition. So here's something that's kind of cool. Here's squash. So if you're low on funds, the dollar store had 4 packets of seed for $1. So when I learned about coronavirus, I was like going to the dollar store just in case. I thought I was crazy. I was like, okay, this isn't real. It's not going to happen. But I'm going to put my computer down. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, like here. I was thinking, is this really going to happen? So whatever, I just got some seeds like on the run and they actually grow. These are literally dollar store seed plants. Oh my God, right? This is squash and I just want you to read you the back. So it takes 8 to 10 days just for the seed to sprout. Then it takes 50 days to harvest. So about 60 days, so 2 months. So we're in April. So May and June, you've got to think about how are you going to feed your family in June? If all this continues, if it doesn't stop, the media is going to go huge. It's going to go huge about stay inside, okay? So, think about two months. How are you going to feed your family? If a grocery store is shut down because one person gets COVID, then could that happen? And if those COVID tests, they're not really telling you if you have the disease. They're telling you if you have a protein that exists in your body that exists anyways if you have fear. So this is a little shit show. Okay. So anyways, let's just teach you self-sufficiency a little bit while we're here. So, and this is probably like 4 weeks. So I definitely have a long way to go. And then I don't know if you guys can. So then what's going to happen is these need to be outside. This looks like flowers are going to show, but I need bumblebees. The other thing that you can do is if you're growing indoors, you can take them outside for outside daycare. And then to get them pollinated, you may be able to self-pollinate these, okay? So you take a Q-tip and you find the girl stick and the boy part, and then you kind of touch them, and then you can pollinate that way, all right? So let me show you something else. Let's see. Just so you guys can learn, this is important. So lettuce. Like I don't have the nutritional backing of lettuce, right? But here's it says iceberg lettuce. That's a big space that it's going to take up, right? There's still seeds in here too. So it's 14 days. That's 2 weeks just to like get the lettuce to show a little guy. These are so fragile. I don't even see how I'm going to transplant this stuff. It's like this, I don't even know. So anybody's a farmer person, please let me know. hit up some more farmer people if you can even transplant this, or if I just like, I mean, lettuce doesn't look like it needs to get like beefied anyways. Here, I'm gonna try to eat one of these and see what it tastes like. I just killed a whole piece of lettuce, I guess. Anyways, I mean, that is so weird how it's growing. All right, so lettuce takes 65 to 85 days. That's a long time. That's almost 3 months just to have lettuce. So I do happen to have some just because I can see what's going on in the roots, and then I can see like if it's dry, right? Because a lot of times I go, oh, touch the top of the soil. Is it wet? But then you can see if it's like really dry by the color of the dirt. So that is lettuce. This is, I'll show you some green. This one actually has the green bean thing. Okay, so here's green beans. And there are green beans that go really tall and high, but then there's also bush green beans. So this one is top crop, heirloom variety. And there's definitely more soil that needs to be added because these roots I'm seeing are just, they're going way too much. And they're gonna need to be transplanted, but it's too cold in Connecticut where I live. Okay, so it takes 8 to 16 days. That's more than 2 weeks, almost 2.5 weeks, just to get the little green bean to start growing, a baby green bean. And then takes 52 weeks to harvest. So I'm assuming that the 52 weeks is just after the germination. So after the 2.5 weeks, there's 52. So that's about, I would say, definitely 2 months. And then they're going to get, if you guys haven't gardened before, they're going to get little flowers. And it looks like they could be starting, let's see if you guys, they could be popping up soon. These little, right there. Anyways, then they're going to need bumblebees. So that's why I think my friend Nick said that the 5G is going to be safe, but let's just hope, because we need those bumblebees to make our food, right? Oh, I'm going to show you guys tomatoes. Like, all right, here is the thing. I don't know if you guys have these, just for indoor gardening. This one I love. This is like, I think this is probably like a 12-foot centerpiece thing, right? But it's definitely great because look how much dirt is in there. You can see those roots down here. Let's see if you can see. Look how far they go down, right? I love being able to see what's going on underground with my plants. So, okay, great. I mean, the whole way around, they've definitely enjoyed all of that area. And then when it goes to outside daycare, because that's what I've been taught, how to get these to get ready for going outside. When it was down here, it was windy, right? And it didn't get hurt by the wind. These guys do not. I mean, there's some windy days. They are not happy in that wind. And I could show you on the deck, but I don't feel like going outside. The plants that I actually put outside already, those already, like, those green beans are done. It sucks because I had some really beautiful green beans. So you've got to be careful about putting them out before the weather is okay with them. So this one is called a Blue Lake bean. So each one of these are different green beans. This one takes 7 to 10 days to harvest. So it would make sense to why it's taller than the other ones, because the other ones were longer. And it takes 7 to 10 days to germinate. Sorry. So that's about a week and a half to 1 week just to get to the little area, and then 62 days to harvest. So, and on the back of your seeds, you're going to see this. It's really important. It'll show you exactly when you're supposed to actually plant in your area. So that way you know. And the almanac, there's this farmer's almanac. You go in there and there's this app, you put your zip code in, and it's tracking, I guess, the last, like the moon and the last time, like last year's last freezing night. And so it kind of gives you a guidance as to that, as to like when to put your plants outside. So, and the other thing is just make sure, again, if that 5G thing affects plants, you don't want to do that. Put them all outside. So try to figure out some hydraulic stuff inside so that you could just still have plants if something funky goes outside, like chemtrails. I have a girlfriend in Tanzania. I was like, where's Tanzania? Like, I'm not a global girl, but the last few years I've gone global. She's like, Susie, I saw chemtrails. Like in Tanzania, it's an island off the coast of Australia, and they're dropping chemtrails. So how do those chemtrails affect your plants, right? So keep some stuff inside. Years ago, I used to create wheatgrass juice. Okay, when I got certified in plant-based nutrition, or I took the class and I passed plant-based nutrition through eCornell, I did all this wheatgrass juice, and you can just grow that at home, and it's amazing. And the nutrients in it is like, by all means, the highest possible. So to get your greens and all the micronutrients you need for good gut health, you could just do wheatgrass, and I really should be ordering that now. I just haven't really focused on all the stuff. So this is tomatoes, and it's just a little like, this is like a candle holder, right? So I don't have the little thing, but let's see if you guys can see. These are very babies. So many seeds. They're way too close together. So there's, these are going to have to definitely be thinned out and moved around into other containers, but it's kind of cool. I can put this outside in a windy day and they can still have the sunshine, and then they can feel, they can be outside and they can strengthen their stalks, but and they're protected from this. And then to take it out, I just upside down and be tender with the stuff. All right, I'm going to show you something else that I did. And I really have never done this before, so I don't know if it's legal to put stuff on there. Like, this is a beer can. So I'm just going to cover up the name. So this one was planted day 103, and I think, I don't know what the day number is today, but it's probably, that's 103 of this new year. So this is a squash, and I just did a can opener here, and I do not have holes in this one, but I did do holes in other ones. But that is just reusing what you got. Just keep your recyclables for right now. And dirt is amazing. Just reuse the dirt from maybe a plant that you bought last year that was outside. We had these 2 plants in front of our house, and everything died. I put them to the side, and I was like desperate for dirt. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to use that dirt, right? So I use that dirt. Here's squash. So it's so I have like a bunch of these, and I'm starting the seeds in these just so they have a longer trailing thing. Now, I've never done this before, so I'm going to have to shake it to get it out, but whatever. Let me show you some other things that we did. This one, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a spray bottle. These are really dry and need water. Okay, here's the thing. This one is cabbage, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, this cabbage, for what it's going to turn into, it is so baby, but these are really dry right now. This is just a CD case that we had, and so I made my husband give up all of his CD cases to use them as planters, right? But you guys can't see this, but the soil is really light brown, so they just need to get nice and watered. But this is just what you should do. Just reuse some of the stuff at your house, right? And I'm going to show you one other thing. It's like a knick-knack shelf that was like actually my first husband's thing. It would stick golf balls in it, Like, who needs golf balls right now, right? Okay. And then, all right, so here is literally the reusing of a golf ball holder. And these are tomatoes. So in the past, this was like one of those things that you just hang on the wall. So get creative. And it actually worked really good for a little like building place. I don't know why the snail's here. But this is good. They were planted week 14. So we're in week 17 now. So this is tomatoes. Tomatoes are awesome. Oh, and I got one last thing. I'll show you my cucumbers. The cucumbers are definitely essential. They don't take that long to grow. They're not like cabbage or watermelon or 80 days. That's so long. I mean, imagine. Oh my gosh. The other thing you guys need to realize is there's spring gardens, summer gardens, and winter gardens. And so for survival, when it comes to seeds, remember always the survivalists say seeds and soil, get ready to plant things that will survive and grow in the snow. So in my old house, I had tons of poop manure. It was amazing. And I went to the renters the other day. I'm like, you've got to know what you have in this garden. I'm like, you have all like 18 different winter garden things. So that's one thing you should really look into is like, until this thing gets straightened out, whatever's going on with these people that have more money than God, right? They get it together. Grow your winter garden, start planting it. In July, you plant your winter garden in July. So July, August, September, October, November. Okay. So start your winter garden in July, and you're gonna look at there's vegetables that grow in the cold. They love the cold. Like garlic. Garlic you plant in the fall, and then the next spring you eat it. And boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's going to be amazing. But you can start your garlic now. You can just take garlic and you can just put it in water. And I have some stuff on TikTok saying like, replant your groceries. Okay. I think that's it for now. I'll show you one more thing. Let's see if I can do. So beans are one of like the easiest things to grow, and they take the least amount of time. So this is like reusing your milk jugs. Okay, so what I did is I cut when I knew something was going on, I ordered a lot of like half-gallon milk so you could freeze milk just so that it yeah, it's not gonna make boobs right there. So you have more than 1 gallon of milk, like something like that, where we are. We can even get it. So I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get half gallons anymore. So anyways, these were planted day 103, week 15. So these green beans are actually sprouting way sooner. And this is milk jug. So this is dirt that I actually got from a place in my yard. Make sure that you have worms in your dirt. You're like, well, what worms? You want the worm poop. Poop is amazing. The worm poop is phenomenal manure, and it's going to help your plants grow tremendously. So the more worms you have in that soil, that's the better that's what you want. So for instance, we have some soil in some growing plant area that's like right around where the pool is. And I'm digging in the soil and I see no worms. So it goes to show me that that's not, and it's most likely because the landscaper guy, he cleaned all of the patio around the pool and he sprayed it with Clorox again and again and again in the power washer. So it makes total sense why there's no worms in that soil. So that in those areas, that's why above ground gardening is going to be best, where you're just putting the dirt there and that's that. So let's see. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I'm kind of like just thinking about what I'm going to do, where I'm going to replant these babies in the yard. And there's some really cool garden boxes. So Anyways, thanks for watering my plants with me. Whoever you guys are, you're awesome for staying. I applaud you for learning. Hopefully you're planting your own garden and just get it together. Start. You got to start somewhere, okay? Because cannot rely. Remember, this is one thing I found researching like the history of money is it was, I think, April 1st, 1930 or 31. It was the day that prohibition was released. So when the United States could get drunk again, they nationalized gold. You had 30 days to sell all your gold back to the government. And that lasted for like 17 years or more, where nobody could own gold. So that's one of the things that holds me back is like, in that same week, while everyone was getting drunk, they also nationalized bank accounts. So therefore, like, if that still exists today, I really haven't had time to research that. But if that's the deal, and you know what they did to justify that? They said the farmers, nobody would get farmers loans. Nobody would loan farmers money. So they used food to justify, the nationalization of gold. So are they going to do that again? Will history repeat itself? That's the question. And are you ready if they do that? Plant your garden. Plant your food. We call it plant your menu. Plant your menu. Think about water intensified stuff. You could try some watermelon. It grows on hills. Cantaloupe has a lot of water. Think about water collectors. It's even illegal to collect your water in California. So you could take, what I'm doing is the opposite part of this. You put it upside down, put a string on it and hang it so it collects the rainwater. And you could use a gravity filter to filter out whatever's in the rain. And then you could use that water. So for some survival, quick tricks, cut your water jugs, keep all your recycling. And you can just put some string on this upside down. Remember, you keep the little thing on and collect your water in the rain. I got to make some of those. And just start preparing and teach your kids. Think about if there's power outages, what are you going to do for light? What are you going to do for heat? Highly recommend having an iron skillet, an iron pot. One day I'm at this client's house and they lost all their gas because they turned the pool on earlier and only to have your gas usage has been in the past. So the chef was like straight out of New York City. He's a really amazing chef. He's like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, well, microwave the potato. He's like, I've never microwaved a potato before. I'm like, microwave the sweet potato now. He's like, oh my God, it works. Then, but imagine you have no electricity, so you can't microwave. They had a fire pit in their backyard. So we went to the fire pit. We started the fire. And this woman's amazing, like cast iron pots made the most amazing. It was like cabbage or cauliflower. And yeah, the pot gets all disgusting, but that stuff cooks good. And that iron skillet stuff lasts in a fire. So start learning and make sure you have that kind of stuff while everything is still intact. Okay, I'm out. Let's hope the world continues and we still have a beautiful, awesome world and electricity stays on and water stays on and everything is great. But if there is a pause, if there is a reset, if there's some wackadoodleness, a bushcraft, baby. Let's learn bushcraft, right? Woo! Okay, we can figure this out, right? I mean, we've had tons of technology. We've got tons of advancements, but let's go back to the basics and be ready for anything. All right, I'm out. You guys are awesome. See you tonight.